Right. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the Economic Development Committee for the Town of St. John for October 9th to order at 5 p.m. Everybody please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Could you call the roll, please?
Certainly. Schultz.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Okay, so we got Bill Clark, Joe Barry,
Here.
Chuck Pullen is here,
And Ed is here.
and Ed Stoyanovich is here. Absent is Pastor Eric Schlichtling,
Okay.
as well as Town Manager Billy Manasopoulos.
Okay. All right. Next up is the approval of the minutes for the previous meeting. I believe everybody got them electronically, and they're in front of you as well. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. We go into new old business, which is the Crindle Market, and Chuck, I would turn it over to you.
Okay. Yeah, so things are progressing very well. Everyone's been super helpful, especially Shelby and Rebecca from the farmers market, and everyone here has been super helpful. So we're doing very well. So we've got all the back end put together as far as an email address and forms and all that sort of thing. So we've had a couple of discussions just about what needs to be done. According to Rebecca and Shelby of their vendors, they already have nearly 20 interested. So that would be fantastic if we can get 20 out of the gate. The only wrinkle that we've run into is that we are going to have to limit the vendor sales time to 4 hours. There's basically no cushion there as far as having it for 6 hours and charging them less and things like that. So because of the ordinance, we're going to do the 4 hours. So they only have to pay the $50 fee.
Gotcha.
So other than that, everything else has been going well as far as that part of it goes. We really just are trying to sort out what else we can bring to the event besides vendors, entertainment, things like that. We talked about, the choirs and trying to do that. So we have some carolers. Any other kind of entertainment is welcome. We can find a slot for them as well. So, that's really it. At this point, it's essentially, we're at the point where I feel like we're progressing very well. Everything's in good shape. Everything's coming along nicely. It's just sort of adding the final touches of things we want to add to it as well, or anything anyone wants to bring to the table. So, any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, I just had one.
Yeah.
Being that we're using the porta potties and all this stuff that's through the parks, or however that works, do we need to get the council to approve it, the town council?
At this point, I don't believe so. I don't think that there's going to be any expenses that need to be approved.
Okay.
The only discussion that has come up is the idea of, so let's say one of the schools has their choir come out. It'd be nice to give them some sort of gift or stipend, which would have to go through the council for approval. So we can do that sort of on the back end, is whoever's there, we do that, and that would require approvals. Other than that, I've not come up with any sort of expenses at this point.
Okay.
So other than the entertainment, everything else is kind of covered at this point. So it's, like I said, it's coming together very well. So
Great work. That's all I have.
Nothing?
I don't have anything
No. So,
to add.
well, and thank you for your help. The two of us have been working together on this sort of in the back end, just making sure everything comes together. So
Lake Central should know in a couple of weeks what their nursing home schedule is, so I should
Okay.
be able to get a full yes or no commitment from them shortly.
okay.
So probably before the end of the month, we should know for sure.
And I think it was sort of your idea or somebody's idea to maybe try to have multiple choirs so nobody's stuck out there for hours at a time. They could just do a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever they feel like doing. So if we have several choirs and several other entertainers, then that way nobody's stuck outside for too long if they don't want to be.
I have a list. Someone had suggested Hanover, even Crown Point Christian, or maybe just there are public caroling groups in general that might be interested. So I'll reach out to all of them within the next week and see if they can get any answers from anybody.
You can invite them all and have a caroling off or something like that. So that was pretty much it. Like I said, I mean, things are progressing well with the vendors, and so as long as we have 20 or more vendors, any sort of expenses will be more than covered. I mean, at this point, we're, like I said, very, very little expenses at this point, so I'm very happy with that.
Are we allowed to do any type of, like, say, 50/50 Christmas raffle, or is that?
You need a
doable, or-
gambling license to do
Okay,
that.
okay, wasn't sure, so.
When they do them through the church or the school, they have a license specific for the event.
For that, okay.
No, that would be a good idea. Or I mean, the other option is to partner with someone who has the license if they wanted to do it, because again, for us, there's really no expenses and, anything like that. So, I mean, if we wanted to do something like that, where we offered an organization to come in to do that as a fundraiser, that'd be fine if someone had one in mind, as long as they have all their paperwork in order, that shouldn't be a problem.
What about, instead of 50/50, what about raffle for prizes?
Have vendors donate gift baskets?
Gift baskets, so even if they don't have a specific booth, they can donate and get some advertisement via that way, and, maybe people can, raffle for prizes instead of, say, 50/50.
I think you still need a license, but yeah.
That's what I wasn't
In the
sure.
gray area, it's a-
I think you still need a license.
Do you? Okay, no worries.
We can certainly put that in, and that could be a discussion, because maybe if the town had, I don't know if the town would have the license or who would have that, so we can look into that.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
The VFW does a 50/50 a lot of times for their stuff. Maybe they already have their license and could come do a 50/50 or something like that.
I don't know if there'd be any specific, like a site license thing.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, we can definitely look at it. It's a great idea. We can look into that.
Because if we get some of these schools that come out and, we want to help them,
Sure.
That'd be a great way to kind of offset that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Yeah, we can put that on the agenda to chat about this week and see what that would entail, but I think that's a great idea.
Super. Anybody else? Good?
I'll just remind everybody that Shelby and Rebecca are handling the vendor portion of it. The town is paying them for their time to be there, but also any kind of volunteers for the day would be great, just to, help out and things like that, so. And obviously, weather dependent, it would be nice for people to not have to be there the entire time if they don't want to be. So maybe do a half and half shift kind of thing, do a couple hours at the beginning or the end, just to help clean up and make sure everything's put back the way it needs to be at the end of the day kind of thing.
Sure.
Maybe at the November meeting, we can have a sign up, or I don't know how we
Yeah.
would do it, but have something like a sign up where maybe half the people do the opening through the half and the other half do the afternoon and the closing out.
Yeah, and I expect it, cleanup should be minimal. It's mainly just helping people, get out of the parking lot and things like that. And I think that's covered. I think of what else has come up in our discussions that we were gonna.
Refund and cancellation policies.
Yeah, so we're working on all that. So there's a whole, again, essentially treating it as an extension of the farmer's market. We're using a lot of their policies and documentation and just kind of going with what they know that's tried and true with them. So all that's been working out well. I think that was it as far as issues and things like that. So we're just working with Shelby and Rebecca on that. Just again, back end stuff, the logistics of approving vendors and moving them back and forth and all that. So, but again, everyone's been super helpful. So it's gone fantastic.
Great.
Is everything live now with the application, and I didn't look at the flyer but
So we're going to do it a little differently. Instead of having it as a site, we're going to do the application. So essentially, if anybody was interested, a vendor would email us, the Chris Kringle at St. John email address, and then we would send them an application, just basically a PDF that they'd fill out. So we essentially took the farmer's market's PDF, cleaned it up a little bit. We have a few more lines to clean up on that, but we'll be ready to send that out in the next couple days.
okay.
And then essentially there's a payment portal through the Parks and Rec that they'll go through that, and we'll work all that, all that stuff should be live here in a couple days. We have to put in, so a flyer went out to the farmer's market last week for the vendors. We also want to make sure that we're advertising in the water bill and on Facebook and things like that. So we need to put together a write-up for that. Again, one of the challenges is you're writing up something that hasn't happened yet. You don't know for sure what you're going to have, so we have to kind of keep it generic of things that we hope will happen.
Mhm.
So, but if we get that right up this week, they'll be able to put it in the water bill, and then we can start doing Facebook blast and stuff like that, looking for vendors.
Food, crafts, Christmas gifts.
Absolutely.
Food, crafts, and gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the goal is to keep it, holiday themed, but I think anybody that wanted to bring anything out would be great, so.
I just wondered if we could start sharing to social media for vendors. That's why I was just asking if the application part of it was live.
Yeah, I think we're a couple days away, so, I mean,
Okay.
ideally, I think maybe by this weekend or Monday, they can start doing that.
Okay.
So I want to have Shelby and Rebecca give it once over, make sure that it's what they expect it to be, and then we can have it ready to send out. So.
Okay.
So it'll be a 1-day, 4-hour.
So it'll be the vendor sales is 4 hours, because anything more than that, we'd have to charge them more, a higher vendor fee than $50. So, I mean, in theory, the event could go longer, but the sales window would be 11 to 3 at this point. So, but again, there's, if there's other things going on, there's no reason why the space couldn't stay open, just that would be the sales window for vendors.
And that not including setup or tear down or anything like
No,
that. They get
right.
separate time.
They
for
can,
that.
they can basically come as early as they'd like. So depending on the vendors, we'll kind of feel that out. I think we're looking at 2 to 3 hours ahead of time as being, the parking lot will be open. And most vendors are, good at getting set up quickly and tearing down quickly. So, a couple hours here or there should be fine.
If I'm able to talk to people to donate some time to do like video or photography or anything like
Yeah.
that, is there anything that they need to fill out? Anything that they have to do? Do they have to get in contact with anybody from the city as far as doing anything like that?
No, I don't expect to. I'll put that on the list to chat about. I think the only thing we'll have to do is just make sure we have if we have some sort of poster that says that we're taking photos and video there. So we'll make sure, I'm sure the town has one.
Okay,
So we'll put that up.
perfect.
Do you have to do a disclaimer for that? Yes,
Generally, you
okay.
do in a public, yeah. So generally, at the entrances, you put a disclaimer that says this event is being filmed. So I'm sure we have some. Or if they're generic, we can get some.
Good.
What's the date again?
So first,
So December 1st, so the idea was, the town's basically Christmas kickoff is always Black Friday, and then they have an event Saturday, and then this is sort of the day that nothing was really going on, so it was a good day to do it. And as of right now, no one else has a craft fair or event that day, so it's worked out to be a great day to have this.
It's gonna be perfect. It's Thanksgiving weekend. As
Right.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna be perfect.
Yeah, and I think it's a great day, and hopefully, moving forward, nobody seems to have this day. A lot of them do it on Saturdays. So again, for us, the parking lot was available Sunday, so I think it's a great day to do it. No vendor conflict, so I think it's worked out really well.
Entertainment, do you want them to contact Shelby and Rebecca?
They can email, I guess, we can have those discussions over the email. I mean, we can either do it as a group,
Okay.
or we can just do it through basically, ultimately, I think anything correspondence-wise would go through the Chris Kringle email address, so we have all that, but, I mean, we can do it however.
Okay.
Again,
I
there's
would say
no-
if they were interested, they should start by emailing Chris Kringle at
Right.
St. John.
But I don't, yeah, but I, unless they're gonna be an official vendor, there should be no paperwork or anything they need to fill out, basically. Again, for the schools, we'd like to give them something for their time. We'll kind of figure that out as we go, how that would work out.
Speaking of the schools, is there anything that we can get in contact with the schools and maybe have them hand it out or maybe announce it over the intercom for end-of-day announcements or stuff like that as well to let more people know?
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
I don't know if they do that
I don't know.
because they are very strict about what they pass out. I mean, they don't even put out flyers for Cub Scouts in the elementary schools for Lake Central and stuff like that. They don't advertise for them anymore. At least Lake Central doesn't.
Okay.
So I don't think that they are going to advertise public town events.
Yeah, so I think we'll stick to sort of the traditional methods through town. They also have, if we could get them printed, there are boards that can go up, like at the farmer's market or something like that. There's boards available, so we can put something.
Chris Kringle Market
yeah.
instead of Farmers Market.
So it's basically a poster board that goes into a giant frame that can sit at a corner or something like that.
Yeah.
Social media is a wonder too.
Right, and that's the goal, is we'll go through all the official channels, everybody will share, each group has their own Facebook, so they'll share a post, letting people know that we need vendors, and then a few weeks later, letting people know about the event. So that, that should cover that, but of course, obviously, once you see it, share it wherever wherever you frequent kind of thing. But, you know, I think that as far as keeping costs down, obviously, you know, we're basically getting free printing through town hall. So we'll print what we need and, you know, kind of go from there.
Perfect.
Are we gonna be, I don't know if we've talked about this, are we gonna be included, the clerk treasurer's office always sends out a flyer for all of the Christmas in the Park events, so you have everything. Are we gonna be listed as part of, on that? I mean, I know we're not Christmas in the Park, but we're still a Christmas event.
I will put that on the list to chat with them about as well. So I don't know if that's already been printed or going out.
They just sent out the applications for Christmas trees, so I don't think the
Okay.
schedule of events flyer has gone out, but I saw in the water bill came the sign up to buy a tree
Okay, perfect.
forms.
Yeah, no, I think that.
So
that'd be
next
good.
month they'll probably have the schedule, so they probably need that now,
Mhm.
because they're probably printing it out to send out at the end of the month.
Okay, I'll check in with them tomorrow and see if if it's not too late, and we'll try to get in on that too. The only other thing that may come up is I know that there are sponsors to that event that may want to participate in our event. So we'll have to work out the logistics of how that would work. So if somebody's already sponsoring Christmas in the Park, would we allow them to be a part of our event, which I think would be fine.
Maybe they can just put a little line in there that says, don't forget to stop by
Right.
the Economic Development Committee Kris Kringle Market on December 1st, just something to put that date out there.
Right, yeah, that's good. So, yeah, anything that they're putting out, it'd be good to be on that because, you know, to be associated with all that, so. No, I think it's a great idea.
I think the water bill reaches more people
Mhm.
than, well, social media does too, because we'll reach Cherville, Dyer, Cedar Lake. But I think it reaches more people in town.
Right, no, I agree. So I'll check with them and make sure, see if we can get in on all of that as well.
Great. Right, well, we're up to reports now, and Chuck took care of that, I believe, so anything from the committee?
No.
All right, there's no public comment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Yeah. All in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Aye.